Sorry guys, no victory puppies today. Just sad because it's raining puppies.
Hi!
Leafs Nation, stand witness for Austin Lucas!
Full biblical! Austin Matthews is a Leaf!
Why do I watch hockey stressfully? Mostly.
Are you in?
I feel like we need puppies more after a loss. This felt like the right thing to do. I'm doing a service. You're so much like your father.
Leafs lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-4 to the St. Louis Blues. Can you imagine how long it takes to make basic transactions in St. Louis? All right, sir, can I take your order?
Yeah, I'll get the wings.
They're delicious here, sir. And how many? Well, I haven't eaten since breakfast, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my impression. That's what people from Missouri sound like. All right, look, this is the 11th season of LFR. Very often in these videos, I will go through each and every goal in the game in chronological order. You might have noticed as of late, whether it's a win or loss, usually a loss, it's starting to take a while. This morning, something occurred to me. The Leafs need a swift kick in the ass. But not just the Leafs, us. So I'm not going to talk about every goal individually in chronological order because we need to have a talk about our feelings, okay? It's important that you're comfortable with that. Are we comfortable? Good. Now, a bunch of you are younger than me. Now, I want to start by saying I resent you all a little bit because of that fact. But you know what? I'm starting to realize that my role on this team is changing. I'm not the plucky rookie anymore. This team needs me to step it up and step up my role. So I'm gonna put on my grizzled veteran helmet and try to turn this franchise around.
Plays hockey once.
All right, look, some of you are only a little younger than me, and that's great, congratulations. A bunch of you are still in your teens. A bunch of you cannot vividly recall Matt Sundin playing for the Leafs in his prime. A bunch of you are not old enough to vividly remember Curtis Joseph playing for the Leafs the first time. A bunch of you do not vividly remember the 2002 run. And if you're 18 years old, that means you were about 6 when Sidney Crosby was a rookie, so you don't even vividly remember that. And let me tell you, you don't know what hurt is!
What are you talking about, Steve? My entire life the Leafs have been bad. They didn't make the playoffs in a full season until last year. How can you say I don't know hurt?
That's where you don't get it, Rook. The Leafs don't hurt you when they're bad. When they finished last place 2 years ago, did that hurt? No, it led to Austin Matthews. That's called going to the gym. You don't want to do it at first, but you get through your workout, you're sore for a couple days, and then after that, you're stronger. No. No. When the Leafs hurt you is when they give you something. They give you something that starts with an H. And for the past 50 years, it certainly hasn't been the Hutch Stanley Cup. No, kids. The Leafs really hurt you when they give you a little thing called hope. Game 7 against Boston. Oh, worst moment in Leafs history, right? No. That was just a taste. When they got knocked out in the conference final in 2002, 1999, 1994, and 1993, that is hurt. When the Leafs are bad, the offseason is just a step above fantasy hockey. Oh, well, if the Leafs just do this and just do that, well, then maybe as butterflies fly around you and the Disney logo appears behind you. The offseason when the Leafs are good is nothing short of unmitigated, unrelenting agony. Okay, all we need is one big right-handed defenseman. Let's go.
Here's Ron Hainsey.
Okay, that can work. Okay, they can still make an early season signing. Oh, sorry, you dropped this Roman Polak. The fast rabbit isn't the one that drives you nuts. You chase it, it goes way out ahead of you, and you go, there's no way I'm catching that, and you focus on something else. No, it's the slow one. Oh, he's just a couple paces ahead of me. Oh, next time I'm gonna get him. He's right there in front of me if I could just... And then you starve to death because you spend all your time chasing this rabbit that you thought you can catch, and you also refuse to go in the grocery store. So rookies, this is hurt, okay? It's not the first time you're going to experience it, and it's not the last. You need to embrace this feeling, get used to it, because it's going to happen again. But you're not lying down without a fight and just letting the hurt overtake you. No, what you're doing is letting a little bit of that poison into your system and building up an immunity. Because one day the hurt's not going to hurt you no more, and you're going to beat it. Now, to the older folks, and I'm talking people even older than I am. I'm talking Patrick Marleau and up. Now to you lot, what are you crying about? Well, that's right, nothing. You've been here before. You're battle hardened, but you're also a little tired of the hurt. Oh yeah, that's how you feel? At least you're a Leafs fan. Imagine what it's like to be a fan of the St. Louis Blues. At least the Leafs were bad. The Blues have almost never been bad. Every single year they have a chance to go all the way, and they had their boogeyman along the way, and then they finally beat the boogeyman, and they still could never win a cup. And this isn't a chirp about the Leafs have won the cup and the Blues haven't. That's stupid. It's a crappy debate. What I am saying, though, is at least the Leafs have pictures. St. Louis Blues fans, if I were you, like literally if I were you, I'd be a scientist. That or I'd have a video blog in professional wrestling. All I know is I wouldn't be talking about hockey. I would hate hockey if I was you. I would roll out of bed every single day, open the drawer, take out the voodoo doll that has hockey written on the shirt, and stab it in the heart. 1 second, it's the police. No, I'm the only person in this house right now. Now you might be going, Steve, I think you're confusing a couple things. The Leafs have been selling hope for a while. When they got Austin Matthews and they were in last place, they were selling hope. No. That's fantasy. They were in last place and they got one player in the draft. You're basically making up a fantasy fairy tale team in your head. Hope is watching them play 5 overtimes in 6 games against the President's Trophy winners and going, oh boy. So to the older crowd, to the younger crowd, I say this. What are you crying about? First of all, this isn't anything we haven't seen before, so why are you looking so shocked? Second of all, the Leafs are making a bunch of boneheaded mistakes that they just shouldn't be making, and it will get corrected. Stuff like puck watching and being weak in front of your own net, those are tough habits to shake, but you know what they can shake pretty quickly? Something like Nazem Kadri doing a behind the back, through the legs pass in his own slot! And they also can't help that they missed a blatant holding call on Andreas Borgman, leading to a face-off in the Blues zone, and then the Leafs take a face-off penalty, and a tripping penalty on Borgman again that was behind the Leafs net, and that leads to the 5th and game-winning goal. And then the 6th goal. Okay, we do have to talk about the 6th goal. There was some confusion on Twitter. Could the Leafs have challenged it? Could they not have? You know what? Let's just go with the facts that we have for sure. Was Frederik Andersen slashed in the head just prior to the Blues scoring the 6th goal? Yes, he was. Are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement? So that's a fact then. That's a fact? That's a fact. Goal should not have counted. Goaltender interference. That's a fact we have. A fact we don't have. Could the Leafs have challenged it? All right, let's look at both scenarios. If the answer is no, then the ref missed an opposing player slashing the Leafs goaltender in the head just prior to a goal. That's a missed call for goaltender interference. Are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement? All right. That's a fact. If the answer is yes, the Leafs could have challenged it, then we have 2 scenarios there. If the answer is the Leafs coaching staff missed the call, then that is bad and they deserve to be blamed for it. Are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement? All right, that's a fact. If, by chance, the Leafs coaching staff didn't challenge that call because they wanted to send a message to the team that is petulant and potentially cost the team the game, are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement? All right. That's a fact. Fact is, no matter what the hell happened on that play, in any scenario, that goal should not have counted. Why go to the Olympics when you have the gold medal for incompetence anyway? Look, Leaf fans, young and old, what this is a losing skid. It'll happen before, it'll happen again. The Leafs are still a game above 500. The Leafs were never going to play as hot as they started the season. No one was ever going to do that. Look, I want to believe that the Leafs could have played at a 127-point pace too. And as for the losing skid, nobody is this bad over the course of an entire season. Maybe the Coyote, but barely anybody is this bad over the course of an entire season. They got work to do. All of them, everybody. Lou's got some work to do. Clearly, there are some defensive snafus. Babcock's got some work to do. Clearly, I don't think the team is listening to them, and at very least, they're not talking while they're on the ice together. And there's a bunch of Leaf players that don't have it going on between the ears right now. I gotta say, Borgman is looking better and better. Matt Martin had the best game of his entire career and deserves to be commended for that. Couple guys who had hot starts, Kadri, JVR, we need more from those guys. Komarov, I need more. Gardner, Riley, I need you to take that step. I thought Hyman had a great game, but as is often the case, I'd bury it! After watching the Capitals series, the question was, what do the Leafs gotta do to take it to the next level? The obvious answer seemed to be more. Lately, and shove your boo-hoo road trip 3 games and 4 nights stuff somewhere else, the Leafs have been giving less. This won't last, but Leafs Nation will. 2 ways to look at this. 1, the sky is not falling. 2, the sky has fallen, and it's on us to pick it back up. And besides, the Leafs' next game is at home with a chance for revenge. Revenge? What are you talking about? Oh, the Leafs get to take out all their aggression on the team that caused this downfall in the first place, Vegas. Oh, that's right. October 18th, it's announced that the Leafs are the odds-on betting favorite to win the Stanley Cup. That night, the Leafs beat the Detroit Red Wings 6-3 on home ice to improve to 6-1 on the season. The Leafs are 2-6 since. Vegas, you did this, and for that, you must pay. You know, it's not the team that releases those. Well, then it was your Twitter account. I don't care. Someone has to pay. And until then, this isn't nothing. You're a Leafs fan. You're better than this. Let's go. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this little sermon. Click subscribe if you'd like a little more insanity. Tell all your friends and don't say another word to me until you run through a wall!